Let's turn to our investigative team with the Center Square. Investigator Jared Strong going quite the distance to hold an Illinois commission accountable. Jared, thanks for taking time with us this morning. You have the latest. Illinois diversity leaders dodge questions as they slip farther from their goals. You've been reporting on this now for months, and you actually had to drive the distance to get some answers. Tell us about it.
Well, yes, we've been looking into the Illinois Commission on Equity and Inclusion for several months now. Their job is basically to make sure that more state money is spent with businesses that are owned by racial minorities, women, and those with disabilities. Our reporting has shown that they've backslid on those goals somewhat. And as we've asked questions repeatedly about that and about sort of the structure of their jobs in recent months by email, by leaving voicemails, everything has been unreturned. They've only responded to us when forced to by state law in regards to records requests. So I drove to Chicago. It was a 6-hour drive, and unfortunately, it didn't yield much more. I was able to talk briefly with one of the commissioners, but he wasn't answering questions.
What kinds of questions did you have for him?
Well, one of the big problems that they've encountered is a switch to a new computer system that was supposed to make getting these businesses registered and eligible for these state contracts easier. But instead, it's had the opposite effect. It's had the effect of blocking them from access. And I want to know what they've tried to do to fix it, why they haven't perhaps reverted back to their old system. But those questions, again, that I've posed to them in writing have gone unanswered. Then also, we're looking into how their jobs are set up. This is a relatively new commission created by lawmakers in 2022. Been running for a few years now. They're appointed, these 7 commissioners are appointed by the governor. They each make $150,000 a year. So this is clearly a priority for state lawmakers. But our investigation has found that, they're making $150,000 a year. That's more than other their counterparts, other appointed board and commission members elsewhere in state government who meet more frequently. These commissioners meet once a month, and that was the meeting that I went to last week. In those meetings, they take no votes of consequence. They vote to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. They vote to approve the remote participation of one or more of their commissioners, and then they work side jobs. I mean, some of these other boards and commissions, the members of those that are paid large amounts of money, they don't get to work those side jobs. But our investigation has shown that some of the members of the Commission on Equity and Inclusion have had side jobs that have paid more than $10,000, tens of thousands of dollars actually, in a year. So that's in addition to the money that they're already collecting from the state. So we want to know about all of that. Is this a full-time job for these folks? And if so, why are we not seeing the results that the state is paying for?
Jared, you were able to get to that meeting last week, and you had a videographer with you filming the meeting. And then afterwards, you approached one of the board members, Bruce Montgomery, and I would encourage people to go to thecentersquare.com, find Jared's story, watch the entirety of the interaction. We're just going to have a clip here for you. But let's hear the clip. And really, I guess, the question I have is, did you get any answers? And this kind of explains it. Go ahead and roll that clip.
We're not interested in stuck in the mud. We're interested in moving forward.
Sure. Yeah. I guess one.
I hope that's helpful.
I guess one of my main.
Do you have some ideas that you think would move the organization?
Well, I have questions for you.
Well, why don't you have some solutions and some suggestions or recommendations?
It's not. I mean, that's not my job.
Or to talk to small businesses and get some ideas.
I'm here to report on how you guys make your decisions and your.
I think you should report on how the organization is a listening organization, that we're concerned in innovation, we're looking to do what we do in ways that add value to the constituents and stakeholders we have, and we'll take ideas from you or anybody else.
Well, but your
That's
decision.
all I have to say.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for coming.
6 hours you drove to have them ask you for your recommendations. How did you find that? What was your reaction when they're like, well, what kind of recommendations do you, Mr. Reporter, have for us who's getting $7 million in taxpayer money for the state of Illinois? What kinds of suggestions do you have for us? I mean,
it was a bit unexpected. Yeah. I mean, he was talking around the situation the entire time during that encounter. I think we just talked for about 3 minutes, but he didn't allow me to spit out any of those questions. Just, we went round and round about, the ways that I could get my answers. And I just kept telling him, I'm here right now. That is the purpose of my visit, is to talk directly to you, because I have not been able to get answers any other way. I mean, maybe he could find some solutions in the questions that I was asking, but I'm not going to make suggestions on how he should do his job.
And you sat through that board hearing, and there were others there that were making suggestions. They weren't reporters looking out to see how the taxpayer dollars are being spent, per se. So it was an interesting kind of exchange you had with that commission member, Bruce Montgomery. And again, just to let people know, I mean, $7 million of Illinois tax dollars going to this commission annually. They get paid $150,000 each year. Altogether, their salaries are $1 million. But you guys are finding out with the investigative team with the Center Square that they're actually backsliding on what their goals are.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, one of the main things that they need to do is increase, like I said before, the number of businesses who are certified to get that priority for the state contracts. And our reporting has shown that, I mean, even in this latest meeting, their numbers were down again, down to 2,782. That's almost half of what it was at its peak during the commission's tenure. So it's way down. And it's still going down, apparently, despite their best efforts. They're sticking with this new computer system. They're trying to force businesses to, go through this different certification process. It's more work for them. They're making phone calls to businesses that were certified and are no longer. That was a recent push that's been going on for a month now. They've called hundreds of businesses, and yet it still hasn't produced that progress that they need. They're still backsliding in that regard.
And when it comes to what exactly the goal is here, you had mentioned it's to get contracts. These are taxpayer funded contracts. Do we know how much they're dealing with, and how many, contracts they're hoping to handle with what their goals are?
Well, as you've reported, and our viewers know, Illinois, the lawmakers recently approved like $56 billion for their operating budget. But the amount of money that they spend each year is far beyond that. It's, 3 times that, 4 times that. So we're talking about, more than $100 billion that is potentially up for grabs for these businesses. And they just can't get that priority if they're not certified.
Pretty remarkable. I imagine you're going to continue reporting on this and see what kind of answers you can get. And as you said, I mean, countless emails, countless voicemails you've left. It seems the only answers you're able to get are through public records requests that they're required to provide. Do you think you made any ends by showing up? Do you think that maybe they'll see your name on an email and be like, you know what, I'm going to save this guy a 6-hour trip. I'm going to give him a courtesy call and talk to him?
Well, I hope so, because I want to know more. And I think people, taxpayers want to know more about this. I mean, we have a pending records request to get emails to get insight into this issue. They've partially fulfilled that, but many of the emails are redacted. I've challenged that with the Attorney General's office, and that's still pending. Their budget's going to be up for consideration by lawmakers soon. Someone from their staff is going to be talking to lawmakers and probably be grilled by some lawmakers about this situation. And they have an annual report due, and that will be the first one that sort of encompasses this time frame after the switch to the new computer system. So we should get a better glimpse of the actual effect of the problems that they've been having.
We'll be watching that closely, and we'll also be watching for updates from you and the investigative team. Jared Strong, investigator for the Center Square. Greatly appreciate your time as always. And we'll be checking back in with the investigative unit here for the Center Square Daily.